It's showtime, it's your time. It's game time, it's go time. You got one shot at a gold mine.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Black Voices in Color podcast, where we will discuss the history and the future of Mont Bellow High School today. As the Mont Bellow High School podcast host, we are so excited to share with you the history of Mont Bellow, the Warrior life, and why we chose Mont Bellow. I'm your host, Deanna, with my co-hosts Justine, Devin, Cheyenne, and Iris. Happy birthday, Iris.
Happy birthday.
We also have two very special guests here with us today, our very own faithful alumni, Mr. Roman, and our amazing principal, Miss Lynch. Mbella Warriors, let's get started sharing our story.
Yes. We're so excited to take out on a journey of Mont Bellow today. Let's start off by sharing a few history facts with y'all. Did y'all know Mont Bellow was developed in September of 1965?
No.
Were your parents even alive then?
No,
definitely
not.
mine wasn't either.
Miss Wells' parents was, and Miss Lynch probably. Like back, not like that far.
Yeah.
Y'all catch the drift.
It was the first major territorial privately owned land in the far northeast Denver area.
Mont Bellow is now known to be a diverse community that goes back many generations. When I mean diverse, I'm referring to age, ethnicity, class, gender, education, and so many more factors that tie into, who Mont Bellow is. Did you know that the Rocky Mountain Arsenal was in Mont Bellow?
No.
No, I didn't.
Don't even know what it is for real.
What is Arsenal?
What is an arsenal?
Yeah.
An arsenal is basically where you go to you do shooting ranges or even hunting animals. Really just getting the wildlife,
What?
Okay.
I mean, when I heard Arsenal, I kind of knew had to do something about guns.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Keyword.
Arsenal with facts. But, I didn't know it was about shooting animals and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how
I feel bad for the animals. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cycle of life. If you haven't been there, it's pretty cool. I've never been there, but I've heard that it's pretty cool.
Who'd you hear from? Who'd you hear from?
Miss Wells.
Miss Wells what?
Miss Wells told me that it was really cool. Also, the word Mont Bellow originates from Monte Bello, meaning beautiful mountain. Because in Mont Bellow, you get a great view of Mount Evans, now known as Mount Blue Sky.
Yes.
We do have some beautiful mountains up there.
Yeah.
They really do live up to their name. I didn't realize that Mont Bellow was the first school in DPS in the Northeast Denver area. It was built in the 80s.
Guys, it
In
was
the
a long
80s?
time ago.
Oh boy,
Long
not
time
in the
ago.
80s. And in the 80s, man, when people used to just wear Adidas jumpsuits, Kangos and all that, dancing on cardboard boxes. As
With the boom box?
Yeah, with the boom box. Ms. Wells was probably watching them right in front of my bellow, sitting there.
Got the whole show.
Yep.
She was probably dancing on the cardboard too.
Yeah, she probably was.
In the 2009-2010 school year, it was announced that Mont Bellow would be closing due to unachievement and low test scores. The last class to graduate was the class of 2014.
Okay.
That was a long time ago. Like,
Very much. I was in kindergarten.
it's going to be a decade.
Oh,
Did y'all know that?
yeah.
It's gonna be,
Already?
yeah.
10 years.
Yes. That's crazy.
Well, in 2020, Mont Bellow was reimagined, and the new campus renovation broke ground in the summer of 2022. Mont Bellow High School reopened during the 22-23 school year, graduating our first class that spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid.
This is our second year attending Mont Bellow during renovation within our campus. Like a true warrior, we remain a community with honor and diversity.
Yes.
I agree.
Yep.
It's weird going to school in construction.
And
Yeah.
It does feel weird.
Yeah.
A little weird.
Y'all still have allergies? I know I do.
Yes. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe that was our drum line back then. I wonder what the drum line is planning to do in the future and how it looks today.
Yeah, our drum line is actually really cool. I really like when they start dancing and doing tricks and stuff, because it really makes it more exciting.
Yeah, really adds that spice. I'm really looking forward to seeing the progress the drumline is going to make this year. I've had a few opportunities to sit in their lunch practices, and they're
Really?
valid.
good.
Like,
That's
Oh,
good.
yeah. Top 10?
yes,
Number one in the nation? Number one?
I don't think number one in the
nation.
nation.
something like that.
We gonna get there though. We gonna get there.
Definitely.
Honestly, I cannot wait to see how the drum line progresses in the future. Being a cheerleader, we dance with the drum line. So I'm excited to see at basketball and football games how it is with our drum line.
Okay, I hope that's a great experience for y'all, though.
Do you like being a cheerleader?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I seen some of y'all practices. Y'all be doing stuff's okay.
What they be doing? They be doing the pop lockers?
We be hearing them from downstairs. They be stumping so hard.
Oh, yeah, you got to stomp really hard. Be
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah. The drumline is pretty cool. You know, it would be cool to hear what Mont Bellow used to be like in the 80s or even the 90s. Let's bring out Mr. Roman, a Mont Bellow alumni who is still lives the warrior life. He is a special education teacher who is passionate about providing opportunities for all students at Mont Bellow. Mr. Roman is a leader and monitor in our school.
My guy, Mr. Robin.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, we're so happy for you to be here and get to share your experiences about Mont Bellow High School and everything.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Agreed.
For real.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I read an article on Chalkbeat, and pretty much we were the top line in athletics like gymnastics, basketball, football. We even had a debate team, track too.
Debate, yes.
Yeah, and pretty much when you were there, I'm just wondering, like, did it live up to the name of, like, and the expectations of, like, school pride in athletics?
Oh, man. Mont Bellow High School was a force. So, again, like I was starting to tell y'all, I moved to Mont Bellow in the early 80s. I went to Ford Elementary. Back then, Mont Bellow was a junior-senior high, so I actually went to middle school at the high school. We were doing these staggered times with the actual high school students, but we were in the same building all day long. And the pride and everything that was developing, even as middle schoolers, like just carried on into high school. A lot of the guys that I played sports with in high school, we had already been Mont Bellow Falcons, and so all of that hype was already building. In '84, we had already won a basketball state championship. The track team was unbeatable. Like, Mont Bellow was a force. There were a lot of schools we were always competing against. You know, East High School. You know, some of these other no name mentionable, you know, high schools in the area, there was a lot of rivalry. And I'm going to be really honest with you, like, that still happens today when people tell me, oh, I graduated from George. I'm sorry to hear that, right? Like, it still is very deeply ingrained in me, and I think a lot of the people that we grew up with. So to answer your question, Devin, yeah, man, like, the hype was real. We were all excited to be a part of that legacy, whether it was sports, whether it was debate, whether it was art, but also academics. Like, we had some folks that had gone to Stanford University. We had some people that were like Rhodes Scholars, things of that nature that were not just being recognized for, you know, their hard work in athletics, but the hard work that they were putting into their academics as well. So it was like a two-tiered approach. Like, it wasn't just the sports. You knew that going to Mont Bellow High School, you had an opportunity to really do something with your academic career. So, yeah, man, leaving, I was set.
Well, just out of curiosity, what position did you play on the football field?
Quarterback and defensive back.
Oh,
I came up with a gentleman named Winky White. His dad was the coach of the Falcons.
Winky.
And the thing was, is that Winky was fast with his legs, but he didn't have an arm. I was the kid with the arm, and so. You know, there was some interesting games back in the day because Coach Finesilver, who was now at George, again, sorry to hear that, was the coach back then, and it was, yeah, man, it was a really good time. And then defensive back, so I laid some people out every once in a while. But, yeah, man. And then played baseball. I was a pitcher. I was a shortstop. Tried out for the basketball team, but Saeed Abdul Rahman was like, I don't want you giving the plays to West High School. So,
What was that about?
I don't know. It's just one of those things. But I went on to play basketball overseas, so definitely, got my experiences under my feet at a very young age, and just carried those as far as I could. So.
That's good.
a really good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not really on script, but that's actually my grandpa, Saeed.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. He was a really cool dude.
Who's your grandpa?
Saeed Abdul Rahman.
Who was a legend in his own right. Yeah, I had him for class. He was a football coach. He was the basketball coach. He was a really cool dude.
What was school pride like as a warrior back then compared to now?
Wow. Well, let me start on the flip side. I mean, this is only year 2 for us, so I think for the Warriors who are coming up now, we're just building that, right? Like, it's the legacy is building. We still have a whole brand new school to christen next year.
Yes.
These gyms, these fields, all of these things. For us back then, it was already laid out, right? It was like I said, the traditions were already there. We already knew that. If you played one of the many sports that Mont Bellow had to offer, you had a really good shot of playing and then taking that, onto a college career if that's really what you wanted to do. So pride back then was everything. And I do have to say it from the perspective of sports because, again, although we had a lot of kids that were very good at their academics, got good grades and things of that nature, that's what really put us on the map was the sports and just the competitive nature that Mont Bellow brought to the table because I'm telling you, it was pretty dry out there, and before Mont Bellow came on the scene, all those state championships. And I don't know if you guys were at the school before the upstairs was torn down, but I mean the trophies that lined the hallways. I mean, that was impressive. Cheerleading as well. Like, we were recognized back in the day for our cheer teams. Miss Laura Beer, she was it in the far Northeast as far as what she did for the community. So, it was something. The pride back then as a community, as the crown jewel of the neighborhood, as a high school. I know it didn't look like much, but we were all excited to get to Mont Bellow High School to make our name, right? No matter what that looked like. And so that pride has been there. And for people that I went to school with a really long time ago, it still exists. And so I'm really excited for y'all, because here's an opportunity for you to build that from the ground up, right? And to create new memories, to create new traditions and all those things that we had when we were younger. So
Outside of, Warrior life and really like enjoying the school, can you share experience of what the neighborhood was like and maybe things that have changed versus now?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Wow, what an interesting community. I mean, back in the mid to late 80s, I mean, we were Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. There were a lot of Vietnamese folks that had just recently immigrated to the country. And so it was a melting pot, to be really honest with y'all. And just the sense of community and pride, again, that we had was amazing. Mm-hmm. I created some lifelong friendships that, still last to this day. The different foods, the different traditions. I often like to tell this story. As kids, I didn't recognize this because this was my first experience with the African American community. But if I were going into my friend's, to Cliff's house, right, his mom had permission from my mom to tear my behind up if I was acting up in the house.
Yep.
I didn't know nothing about that. So that took one time to kind of figure that whole routine out. And then that didn't happen no more. But the interesting thing is that was also applicable in our house too. You came over, you had to show a sense of respect and pride for our house as well, or else, the floodgates were open. So, but it was really cool back in the day. We would spend the night at each other's houses. We would do cookouts. We would do things on the block that were just not really kind of seen or heard these days, right?
Yeah.
You could leave a garage open and, you could literally be outside playing music all day and night, leave your bikes unlocked and not have to worry about someone stealing your stuff. It was amazing time to grow up in the Mont Bellow neighborhood. It was real cool.
So I have a question. Do you feel like the neighborhood has changed since you attended Mont Bellow?
Yes, absolutely. I would say that people are a lot more guarded. We live in a society now where things are dangerous. Things are volatile, and so you have to be very careful of how you move in any community. It's not just Mont Bellow. It can be downtown Denver. It can be Cherry Creek. I mean, we see all the time that things are happening in Colorado and around the country that you have to be very cognizant about. And so, no, it's not the same, and it's unfortunate because that really was key in building the man that I am today, understanding what diversity meant, felt like, how to problem solve, issues with people. That was the testing ground, was the people that we grew up with on the block, and that's not the same anymore. So we see that, at times that can be a real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one question.
Yeah.
Do any of y'all live in the Mont Bellow community?
Yes.
No. I live in Green Valley.
What about you?
I live up the street from Mont Bellow. I live right next to the new Costco.
For real? Yeah, I live right by the rec center.
Yeah.
Right behind the soccer field.
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mont Bellow, what do you think the neighborhood will be like in the next 5 years?
It's going to be very different. I think the way the community is being marketed to, folks from Texas, California, Arizona, just different parts of the country, gentrification is going to be a real word that we're going to be using in our community. It's changed considerably over the last 35 years. It went from a predominantly Black community to more Hispanic, more Latino now. And I think what you're going to see as more housing is developed and built is that there'll be a huge influx of people from all over the country coming into our neighborhoods that are not people of color. And so that can be both, positive and negative, right? It's taken us a long time to get to a place where Mont Bellow and Green Valley Ranch have the resources and have the things that we need to be a viable community. Do you guys realize that in the 80s we had one grocery store in Mont Bellow?
No.
And for a lot of us, it was, we just did not have the things that we needed. We had to go into Aurora. You had to go to various places to get the things that you needed. And it's been like that for quite a while. So I'm excited for the change. I live in Green Valley Ranch as well. And just to see the different types of things that are offered out there, restaurants and just different amenities that we didn't have in the past kind of makes me smile, because those are things that we all deserve as far as the community is concerned, but it wasn't always that way. So.
What were the traditions like as a Mbella Warrior?
I think the traditions were pretty much the same. I would probably say that we had more social functions than probably y'all do. Something that we had talked about, I talked to several friends, is back in the day we had what was called a Sadie Hawkins dance. And so that was kind of special for us because it turned a lot of the traditional dances on its head. A Sadie Hawkins dance is where the ladies would ask the gentlemen to go to the dance, and they would kind of run the whole thing. And so that was a fun tradition. Homecoming was always a really big deal for us because it was always against a very tough rival, East, George, one of those schools. So traditions were pretty much the same, but it was the amount of energy and the enthusiasm that we put into those things. People dressed up, face paint, all that kind of stuff. And they just seem to have a little bit more invested than I think maybe we do sometimes. So.
Yep. Speaking of traditions, what traditions would you like to bring back to Mont Bellow that we don't have?
Traditions. Boy, that's a good one. I don't know. I think, Miss Lynch and her team have done a really good job of involving the community. To me, that's always the biggest piece of what any kind of school in a community looks like is, involvement from the community, parents, siblings, right? Yeah. Making sure that they feel like, hey, this is the school that I want to come to. I'm going to come here. I'm excited to be a Mbella Warrior, right? So thinking about, the things that we've already done. The art showcase was just a few days ago. Amazing turnout. We had like the Trick or Treat Street, amazing turnout. Like we're building new traditions now that I think are going to take us into the next, 10, 20 years. So although we may have had some things back in the day that I thought were impressive, I'm really excited about the new things that y'all are going to be creating that I get to be a part of as I, kind of round out my career at Mont Bellow High School.
Right. Who went to the Trick or Treat Street?
I did.
Oh,
I was a
I
worker.
didn't.
They had me work.
Had you working?
Well, my
Yeah, they
niece did, though. And
Your niece did?
Yeah.
Did you say it was fun?
Yeah, they got a lot of candy.
Yeah, they had me at top flight security. Security.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, what was your favorite class back then, and what classes would you like to see in the new school that are not in now?
Favorite class. So art and drama were some of the two biggest pieces of my academic career back in the day. I was a member of the National Art Honor Society. I was in several productions as a theater person. I'm really excited for those things. I think our art department is already great. It's going to be greater. I'm really excited to get back into the auditorium to see the changes.
Oh, yeah.
There is the production, Midsummer Night's Dream, I think is the one we just did. I went to that performance already, talking about those traditions being built. There's already a group of kids who are super excited about becoming, theater kids and doing more productions. And so I'm really excited for that. So to answer your question, yes, the sports, that'll always be a part of that. But I really want to see the arts department, the music really start to build so that we can be a part of, some fantastic things and choices for students as they, continue to move on to graduation.
Well, speaking of theater, what clubs did you guys have that we don't really have at our school?
I think the only one that stands out, because I was asked recently, is the chess club. I'm a chess player. I don't think that I have the ability to teach kids the basics, of course, but not strategy. But I think thinking of things like that, maybe a chess club, a debate team, some of those things I think would be amazing to have a part of a choice of clubs and activities for kids to kind of engage in, because those are amazing, those are amazing things to have. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy playing chess?
I do. Yeah. It's not checkers, it's chess.
Did you
Thinking man's game.
How long have you been playing chess?
I've been playing chess for probably almost my entire life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm a student of the game. And I've got an app on my phone, so in my free time, while y'all are, scrolling through social media, I'm usually trying to work on, some strategy and things like that. And so what I'm noticing in school, too, is there are kids that are bringing chess boards to school, hanging out for lunch, and they're wanting to play chess. And so, yeah, I think that's exciting to just, again, choices, right? It's not a criticism. of how kids, are picking and choosing things. But there's a wide variety of things you could be doing, and so it's nice to have those choices available.
Yeah, last year, in my math class, somebody brought a chessboard, and they brought somebody new in to play the game.
Okay.
And they were just like teaching them how to play it and the strategy. I thought it was pretty cool how they just like brought something random, like they really didn't talk to really,
Right.
and just like taught them how to play.
I would suggest to everybody to watch The Queen's Gambit on
I've seen it. Me and my mom
on
watched
Netflix.
it.
Amazing series. It'll really kind of build that love of chess. She was an amazing player. If you haven't seen it, you should really check that out. Chess is a cool
Definitely
game.
will.
It's a good show.
Well, we would like to thank you, Mr. Roman, for coming out and sharing your experience as a fellow Mbella Warrior and still having that Mbella pride. Thank
Yep.
you for
Yeah.
coming.
Thank you for having
so
me.
much.
My guy.
I love how even after graduating, alumni still finds their way back to the home of the Warriors. From cheer coaches to administrators, we still are a family.
Yes.
Literally no matter what.
Yep.
I agree. There's so much community within Mont Bellow. There's some alumni even that just come back to the school to work,
Yeah.
volunteer.
Coming to Mont Bellow, I admire the sense of community and strong connection with each other. Like the senior potluck we had last Wednesday. By the way, rated 1 through 10.
Ooh.
I can't.
I rated a 10 because I went with my friends and it was fun and the food was good and there wasn't that many people, but it was still fun. We felt
That's
like we were
good.
having like a little like Friendsgiving or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's nice.
Which
Yeah.
I'm mad that I didn't attend. I wasn't there because I had basketball practice.
Boo.
Unfortunately, I know. I found out the senior potluck was like literally the day of I had practice. Like coach sent me a text. He was all like, practice at 4:30. I was all like, oh, I think I can make it. He did. He was like, it's over at and then senior potluck was over at 7. So I'm like, I think I can make it. Practice at I got like 30 minutes. I come there. Nothing was there.
Wiped out.
Y'all ate all the food.
Because it was good.
Like y'all ain't even like
They
save me
saved
up.
some ice cream though.
They did save me some ice cream.
Was it good?
It was good.
That's
I still
good.
got it at the house. And, like,
Still?
yeah, still.
Dang.
I haven't touched it. I
Because
don't
it was
have
like
no,
a big tub.
I don't got no
Oh,
pie to
okay.
eat with it.
Yeah.
Like I eat pie with ice cream, and like I don't got no pie. Ran out of pie. And I'm mad because my brother made me a plate, and he only gave me one piece of cherry pie that I brought.
Wow. The irony.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like Mr. Roman mentioned, many traditions are being kept alive and still in cases brought back.
That's cool.
Yeah. In October, we had our annual Fall Fest. High school students opened up their doors and families were let in. And we also had a trick-or-treat street where they got to bring the kids and eat
Yeah,
all their
dress
candy and
up.
stuff and
just
dress
talked about
up.
Yeah, we were just talking about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Everybody was so cute in their costumes. There was
Yeah.
like aliens and like
Witches.
this little,
Yeah.
this little boy came as like Chucky.
Yeah, I saw
Like,
that on
they were so
Instagram.
cute.
Oh,
Yeah,
How
they got
cute.
me. Like I said, got me working as top flight security.
Top flight security, Devin.
Yeah,
Here he
that's me.
comes.
And I feel bad because like I won't get to like be there and like get to see it anymore like firsthand. Like
Yeah.
as a student, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
be like a visitor.
Yeah.
And plus, not
I love
to
that.
be mean, but a kid was like they was all running through the halls. Like they went through the 100 hallway, and like all the kids was like running and jumping around. So there was like this barrier, and like I tried to tell him to slow down, and he ended up running into the barrier. So that like it's like the barrier kind of like flipped him over.
Poor
He landed on his
Jimmy.
back. I was all like, just here, take a free piece of candy. At that
Problem
point.
solved.
Candy
Problem
saves
solved.
everything.
Right.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
like
it does.
crying everything. He was all like, I gave him a piece of candy, and he was just all like, "Thank you."
Yeah, to add on to that, like traditions that we're bringing back and even new ones, we hosted our first flea market at the school this week. It was on the 4th, I believe. So like families and students can come to like, showcase their businesses, maybe their talents. Like I saw a few like earrings and like jewelry were
Yeah.
at the, the flea market and even some paintings. Like they're really cool.
Okay,
So yeah,
Did you-
really getting back into it.
Mike, did you buy anything from the flea market?
I actually didn't get to go
Oh.
because I was sick.
dang.
What about-
But I saw on the Instagram, like it was a really big hit.
Yeah.
Great
Did-
success.
Did anybody else go to the flea market?
no.
Did you guys
I
know
did
about
go
the
to
flea
the
market?
art. I did know about
Yeah.
it, and then I went to the showcase after
Okay.
the flea market. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. like it looked cool, but like just think about it, I couldn't go either.
Because you had practice.
Story of your life.
Story of his
Poor
life.
Devin.
For real.
Practice, yeah. During winter season, during the winter basketball season, it's just practice.
And more practice.
And more
Don't
practice.
you have a game today too?
Yeah, I do have a game today.
Hope y'all win. Good
I
luck,
got 3
Warriors.
games this
Right.
week, and then y'all know what I'm about to say. Practice.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
however, it's safe to say that our future of Mont Bellow is changing for the better. Future of Mont Bellow Warriors will be able to be in the new building and have opportunities and get great experiences throughout their high school career.
Yeah, I would like to see a field day for seniors. I honestly haven't had a field day since middle school, y'all. And I really miss those days. Like
Yes,
having the field day,
yes.
going outside, eating popcorn and nachos, all that. Yeah,
just like
it was nice.
on me, just having team colors too.
Yeah.
Going up against your other classrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Really showing that team spirit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to see personally is each graduating class up to until Mont Bellow is like finished. Like
Mhm.
I want them to each leave a gift for the school, and each of them will be put in the school. So when you come back, you'll be like, "That was my class right there."
Oh, so like a little time capsule.
Yeah, a little
Oh,
time
yeah.
capsule,
That would
so you
be
can
so
visit.
It would.
Time capsule. I haven't
In
done a
our new
time
school,
capsule in a
too.
minute.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
we leave and then we come back. And
Yeah.
like, there's just a new little time capsule.
Mhm.
Oh,
That
wait
makes
till
me
our
so
little,
sad.
our little class reunion. I'm so
Yeah. That's gonna be great. There's actually a lot of benefits of being a warrior,
Definitely.
including for our warrior families.
Mhm.
Speaking of our warrior families, okay, we have the OG, the mother of our warrior families, our
Yep.
wonderful principal, Miss Lynch.
Yeah.
Go Miss Lynch.
Thank you, Miss Lynch, for joining us today. So I have the first question today. Why did you decide to become the principal of Mont Bellow?
That's a great question, Iris, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. So you may not know, but I have been serving Mont Bellow either as an assistant principal or a principal for the last 8 years. And so I was the principal of Collegiate Prep Academy, where Devin
All
was.
right.
I've known Devin since he was this tall. And
Forever ago.
and
2 years
so
ago, I hit my
he
growth
so I'm sorry, I screwed up. So at CPA, they decided to close the 3 schools, CPA, NCIS, and DCIS. And then at that time, we were really sad about closing our schools. But they said they were going to reopen Mont Bellow High School, and asked if I was interested in applying for that. And I was like, absolutely. I love Mont Bellow community. I love our students. I love the opportunities for that. And I truly believed in what the reasoning was to bring back a comprehensive high school to Mont Bellow. Our kids and our community deserve the absolute best. And I was like, I can do that. I can build a team and make this happen for our community.
Right.
Yeah, just like I was at, like he mentioned, I was at Collegiate Prep Academy when she was my principal. Ever since I've heard that we were combining the schools, of course I was skeptical, just like everybody else was. But then when we heard that she was getting the principal position and like she had got it, I was all like, I started getting less nervous and really thinking about it. Plus I was on the basketball team, so just like playing on the basketball court, the old court, it was just fun and just memory. So it was just, I was just happy. I
Right.
get to see my
good.
principal again.
I still remember. Oh, I'm sorry.
ahead.
I still remember when Miss Lynch came to NCAS and was like explaining what was happening and how the building was gonna look and everything. And I was like, who are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
We
Like,
were just talking about that the other day, Deanna was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
about you. And I was like, I didn't know about you. And then now we're meant to be together.
now we're besties.
Best of
Funny,
friends.
not funny, weird. No, not funny, ha ha. Funny,
What are your future goals for Mont Bellow, and like even for maybe yourself or faculty, students?
So I don't know if you've noticed, but we're building a new building in the backyard. Of
Yeah, I haven't seen that, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I was like, I wonder
I
what
don't know
that
if you can
is.
hear the drilling, and
Yeah.
I walked out the other day in the back, and there was a big crane just swinging, and I was like, wow, I wonder if anybody notices these cranes. So one of the biggest priorities I have right now is making sure that we get this building on time in August 2024. You're a sophomore.
Yep.
Junior, and the seniors, you'll have to come back and visit us. But so we're going to open our doors August 2024 with a new building. That has taken a lot of my time in planning and designing that, right? So I've kind of had to shift how I'm a principal and making sure that the building is on point for everybody. And I cannot wait for y'all and everybody to see this building when it's finished.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited too.
It's going to be amazing. So that's one of the goals, obviously. And then really what I want everyone to know is that Mont Bellow used to be a community school, right? It was the community hub. The community was able to come in and access the school. And I want to bring that back for our community because we don't have that, right? And so we have a lot of plans in offering resources and classes and things like that in the school in the evening and on Saturdays to bring the community back. We specifically designed a community room in the new building so that the community can access and rent out the space, at no charge or whatever, whenever they want to. And so I really want to bring the community and, of course, the alumni back into the school. And then another piece is opportunities for kids. I know y'all don't feel this right now because it's we're in a basement, right? But with the new building, we're going to have so much more room where we're going to have opportunities for you guys, more electives, more classes, more college opportunities, all of the things that you guys deserve in this new building. I think, and then last, one of the big things for me in my leadership as a principal is I want to make sure that we are expanding student voice. We have LINK, we have Student Council, you guys. We have Black Student Alliance, Latino Student Alliance, and so I just want to keep expanding that so students have a voice in what they want their school to be, what you guys want your school to be, and just build on that as we go.
Yeah, facts. I'm just coming to pretty much the Reimagine of Mont Bellow High School. I've been given the opportunity to get into more things and to help me with my opportunities, like you said, LINK. This podcast, BSA, I got an opportunity just to be in all three, and I'm kind of glad that I did. So I'm here with y'all. I'm here with some more students, and just to be a part of it, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
That's good.
Can you explain to us the culture between the staff and the students at Mont Bellow?
Yeah, that's a good question. So bringing the three schools together and just to be on the real with everybody, I mean, it was difficult, right? Because the three schools had different cultures. Who went to NCAS?
I did.
And who went to DCIS Mont Bellow? Otherwise, you guys came from a different school, right?
Right.
Okay. So bringing the three schools together, there were three different cultures, right? Different experiences. And so, and then I came from CPA, so I wanted to make sure that we captured all of the great things that were happening at all three schools, right? So it was difficult in our first year. And then now that in our second year, I feel like we're really starting to, I always say, learn how to dance on the dance floor together, right? Like we're getting our groove down and really building our own while celebrating the three schools' traditions. So our culture now, first of all, I think we have a lot of fun, culture of fun. You see staff dancing in the hallway. Miss Wells and I do these little flash dances sometimes. We have sweatsuit Fridays, and we're really trying to make sure that first and foremost we have a culture of fun. We want everybody to be happy. We say good morning, and so just treating each other with love, respect, kindness. We don't have to like each other, but we need to respect each other, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've done a really good job with that.
Yes.
Agreed.
And then what we're building with academics is a culture of high expectations, right? We really want students, we want you guys to know that we believe. You hear me say in the morning announcements, I believe in you. Every time I say in the morning announcements, I believe in you, I believe in you. And I'm not just saying that, right? Everyone believes in our students, And we really want that to transfer to you guys, and you believe in yourself because you guys are on your way. I'm not lying when I say this. You are on your way to excellence.
Right.
And I really want that to transfer over to you guys believing in yourself that deeply.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
It does.
What traditions will you carry on from the past? And like, what are some new traditions that you would like to bring to Mont Bellow?
Yeah. I love this. We could talk about this for the next hour if you want.
Let's do it.
So, I've met with a ton of alumni, teachers who taught in the past, alumni that graduated in every decade, 80s, 90s, 2000s. And so really learning about Mont Bellow and what made Mont Bellow great, okay? So a couple traditions, you heard Mr. Roman talk about a few of them, but did y'all know, let me ask you this, did y'all know ROTC, Mont Bellow's ROTC was ranked #1 and has almost the most trophies. When we packed up the trophies, they have the most trophies in the history of Mont Bellow. ROT was the #1 program in the state at Mont Bellow.
Sounds about right.
That's
We're just
gosh.
that school.
Right?
Like, come on.
So you should see the ROTC rooms in the new building. They're amazing because we want to bring that back, ROTC, and the tradition of that. But you've heard of the Big Do?
Yeah, Miss.
Yeah.
Miss Will
Tell
was
me
talking about
what the Big Do is.
I can't remember. I just remember Miss.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
You just
Exactly,
mentioned it.
no.
No, she just mentioned it. She was all like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we're gonna bring back the big."
Yeah, we're gonna bring back
I
the big
remember
news.
what Miss Bell said. It was basically like programs like it was like basketball team or like BSA, like groups like that at the school would come to the Big Do and they would do like fundraisers or they'd have like a stage. Someone would be like performing. There'd be like food trucks and stuff. Basically like what I would assume would be like a block party almost.
Yes.
And really just get the community together, like not just the high school, but like, the neighborhood together and the
Yeah,
families.
right.
Yeah. It's like if you think about a carnival without the Ferris wheel. But I'm like, we can get a Ferris wheel, right? But
where would
right.
it fit?
Well, I don't know. After the old building's away, we got a lot of room. Devin.
Okay.
But it had prizes and games and just all of the things, and everyone in the community would come and eat food and celebrate, and it was a way to bring everybody together. That is #1 on the list because that's the #1 thing I've heard from community and alumni that we got to bring the Big Do back. So we're bringing the Big Do back. Is on the list for next year. And then I want like traditions, athletics and pep rallies. I know you guys, we don't have a gym right now, but we're going to have 3 gyms. Did you know 3 gyms?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So we're going to have 3 gyms. So like pep rallies, and I want kids to develop their chants, and like we were just talking about, and athletic events. Here's what I want. I want students to know what it feels like to be chanting and cheering in a pep rally in a gym. I remember that when I graduated, right? I can still smell what the gym smelled like, what the feeling was, what the vibration of us stomping and cheering and rooting, and then attending the games. I want that for y'all. I want that for y'all.
Yeah. So like just pretty much just like with the prep rallies and everything is just it's kind of I feel like it's the same thing with the basketball team or with athletics in general because like it's our last year, pretty much just being far northeast, like far northeast Warriors, and then we're just gonna transition into being a Mont Bellow Warrior.
Yeah,
so
Right.
prep rallies was one of my favorite things during like pretty much we had one at CPA. It was pretty fun, but I just wish like we had one with like everybody together.
Yeah.
And all in the same gym.
Yeah.
Like in the Mont Bellow gym, because like I had so many memories on the Mont Bellow gym before they tore it down, and then we had to celebrate our pep rally at a whole different gym, so I kind of upset about, but I still had a pretty good time. And like 3 gyms though, for real.
3 gyms
3
In a
gyms.
swimming pool?
and a swimming pool.
Okay.
That is
Right?
a
Swimming pool.
Yeah.
I just remember something. So like, my sophomore year, I was part of the student council team, and pretty much I could kind of say like that I was kind of in the help of the development team of pretty much just building the whole school, and like pretty much they was all like, how do we want this layout and what should the building be shaped like, and it was pretty cool to be a part of. I don't know if we got the one that we wanted, but it don't matter. It's what everybody else wants.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I want to bring you guys is this really cool thing. We call it, have you heard of changing of the seats?
No.
So it's in some schools. We did it at CPA, but you weren't there yet, Devin. And they do it at big high schools, and it's where it's like symbolic, right? And so 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders in the gym, right? They sit like that, and it's the last day the seniors are in school, okay? And it's symbolic where someone, me or whoever, stands up and says, okay, change your seat. And so the 12th graders are in the back. They're not in the bleachers, but the 11th grade shifts over to where the 12th graders sit. 10th shifts over where the 11th graders, 9th and 10th, right? Mm-hmm. Then they do a cheer and everything, and then we, the staff, make a gauntlet, like they stand there and make a little gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
And the seniors come and we play the senior song, and they come through the gauntlet, and they all have, like, how many classes do you guys have? 7 classes? 5 to 7 classes, and everybody has a rose, and then they give a rose to whoever adult they want, and they walk through the gauntlet while the senior song is playing. And then at the end, we all come, 9, 10, 11th grade staff and the seniors, and stand in the middle of the gym and hug and love each other and celebrate that the seniors are moving on. And that's one of my most favorite traditions in a high school, and I can't wait to bring that in the new building. And seniors, you're going to have to come back. We'll do it for you guys too next year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna make me
how
so
do you
sad.
plan to engage with like staff and the alumni there, like just with like their concerns about the high school?
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I was hired. I had a year 0 is what they call it. Deanna knows that because she was there. And so when there was no staff or students, and it was just to plan for this school before we merged it. And I spent most of that time engaging with alumni. I ran community meetings. I ran student meetings. I gathered information. I gave surveys. I probably met with hundreds of people for this. Even before that, we engaged with alumni and community in the thousands and got input on what they wanted this school to be like, right? And so that continued. I meet with alumni all the time now. We hired alumni. We have a lot of alumni that work in the building. I meet with student council and Link and, asking them what they want with their school. And so it's an ongoing process for like 2 years now, ever since they hired me. And we have opportunities for alumni to engage in the school on our website where they can put their email, and we send out information and newsletter. And then we have a really cool thing coming that you're going to see marketing. We have these bricks, and there's going to be a walkway. It's going to be called a walkway of greatness, and it's a walkway to the school in the new building. And people can buy. Have you ever been to Coors Field, like where the Rockies play? And you can buy a brick, and then you can put whatever you want. So you could put, your name, Deanna, class of 2024 on there, and then your brick will be laid and be there forever. And so that's going to be an opportunity for anybody who wants to get a brick and be part of that walkway to excellence.
I like that.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I might have to do that.
Yeah.
Something I'm looking forward to.
Yes, most definitely. Do you have any advice for seniors starting a new chapter?
Yeah. Girl, I always have advice for seniors. So I would say there's probably a few things. I would say go to college or go to some sort of post-secondary training or something. If seniors don't want to go to college, go do something that enhances your ability to be marketable, right? And what I mean by that is get a job that you love, that pays you the money that you need to make, things like that, right? So whether that's college or technical training or some sort of training post-high school. I would also say take risks. Don't be afraid to take risks because that's how you learn, that's how you grow. I would say, you guys, this is something y'all need to know because it was late for me. Save money. Save for retirement. Save for retirement, right? Put a little bit aside, even if you don't want to. Put a little bit aside just whenever you can and save money. And then I think the last would be, y'all need to come back and see us, right?
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
come back and work for us. We've hired a lot of like I said, alumni from Mont Bellow, but also from CPA and NCIS and DCIS. So come, if you want to be a teacher, I'll hire you. I'm saying it right now on camera. Come back and be a teacher and teach at Mont Bellow. Come back and see us.
Yeah.
We
I'm
will.
gonna teach something. I don't know what I'm gonna teach though.
I think I want to be like a counselor though.
Yeah.
Like,
Counselor.
Come do it.
Yeah.
Dealing with all them kids.
I mean, yeah, 'cause like I like to help people, so it kind of just sits with me.
I think
It's good.
I think mental health or academic counselor, like Miss Julia or Miss Sierra.
Miss Sierra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting snacks from them kids. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
just coming to Mont Bellow, you kind of like embrace the culture just from like coming from the other schools. So, what is one thing that you're most proud of being a Mont Bellow Warrior?
Oh my gosh. It feels like a family to me, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. The relationships I built with students. I still talk to students, that graduated 8 years ago. And so they text me sometimes. They come to see us, and so I think the relationships are really important for me. People that I have met over the course of the 8 years, people I work with, I have developed such strong relationships with. I consider them a part of my family. I always say this, yes, we work together, but I also consider that they're a part of my family, and I think that's the most important. Mont Bellow is such a cohesive community, and people know each other, and they love each other and respect each other, and it's an honor. Like, I'm so grateful every day that I'm a part of that.
It's good.
I love
Feeling
that.
is mutual.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Miss Lynch, for joining us today and sharing with us your views for the new school, and also telling us how you're proud still at the school we have.
Yep.
Yeah.
We very much appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love this. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
Anytime.
Yeah.
We are the voices for Mbella Warriors. We can break the stereotype of Mont Ghetto.
Mont Ghetto? What is Mont Ghetto? Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. Probably just like the stereotype around the Mont Bellow community.
Yeah.
So they call us Mont Ghetto instead of Mont Bellow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah, we're not. We're really
But we're not Mont Ghetto. We're Mont Bellow.
Yeah,
Right,
sure.
right.
Yep.
Like, put some respect on the name.
Right.
As they should. And showcase our amazing personalities while spreading light on our stories.
And in the process of that, our stories may not be that different from others, which is why it's always important to show gratitude and integrity.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
It is easy to get caught up into the rumors and the assumptions that people make about our school and about other people's lives. It's just a part of human nature. We, the Mont Bellow Warriors, challenge others who are watching this and just around the world just to like break the bad habits of judging other people's lives.
Pick a day next week when you decide to try something new. It could be even little things that have the biggest impact on somebody.
As mentioned before, we are so excited to go deeper into various topics, specifically about African American history, the evolution of music, and so many amazing topics that I'm really excited about. Like,
Yep.
we're gonna bring so much more to it.
I can't wait to talk about
Yes.
music, though.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
This
Talking
Will's
about
my pop lock.
Oh, she's my pop luck.
Even this pop lock.
I don't know. That's her favorite move. She was in there. She was all like,
I can't break it down.
On the cardboard boxes.
Right. Yep.
And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thanks to our guest, Mr. Roman, and our principal, Miss Lynch, for joining us today during that passionate discussion of Mont Bellow, the beautiful mountain. We hope you enjoyed our conversation. As always, thanks for listening to Black Voices in Color podcast. Please tune in for our next episode about Black culture across the states, which I'm really excited about, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm so
I am
excited
too,
about
I am
that.
too.
And always remember to empower your voice, share your experiences, and you can change the world. This is Deanna,
Devin.
Shine.
Justine.
And Iris.
and we're from Mont Bellow High School.
Bye.